But no, what did you just say at first? You said fuck. You said F-U-C-K.
Look, I don't even give a dog. Means? If it's gonna perform, yes, I know what that means. I'm saying that
you don't give a fuck about what you said previously, you moron. Clearly, you don't, because you're like contradicting yourself. If a 3-year-old is going to really touch it, that is different from the analogy you initially gave. Do you understand this? Pretty simple, easy. Now listen, I'm gonna explain this to you. A better analogy.
I said, girl, why you keep calling? I said, girl, why you keep calling? Yeah. She said, I need a new whip. Yeah, cause I know that you're still ballin'. 21 minutes until I gotta go, so I told that girl I'm gonna slaughter it.
Yeah, if you want to.
I mean, the recording bot's already in here. But
that's fine. So, just to establish stances, you're taking pro-life, and I'm taking pro-circumstance. Just to re-clarify my stance for the VC and for the recording, what I take to be pro-circumstance is that the idea of abortion is very circumstantial. I don't think that it should be a choice within every matter. For example, if maybe a woman is being petty with her partner or whatever, and she just decides to abort the baby simply because she knows it will hurt him, or things used in that manner, I think in that instance that it would be unethical and immoral to abort. But I also think that in circumstances such as to where the baby is a medical risk to the parent, she was raped and unfortunately had conceived a child, or things of those natures within those parameters, I think that that would be ethical in those situations to abort. But pro-circumstance as a whole is just saying that within certain circumstances and windows, it is okay to abort, but also in certain circumstances, it'd be best not to. Do you want to re-clarify your stance for the position?
Yeah, I'm essentially of the position that it's not okay to take the life of a child in an attempt to terminate the pregnancy. Now, to clarify something really quickly, the position of pro-life, it sounds just like as it is, right? The conservation of life. That's not to say that it's anti every abortion, because there is such a thing as a non-lethal abortion, right? And these are generally abortions that are going to take place after the period of viability, and I believe on a week-by-week basis, as the weeks progress after the 24 to 25-week period, you're going to have a higher and higher chance of the non-lethal abortion being successful in preserving the life of the child. Okay, so that's to say, even in the circumstances where you would call an abortion medically necessary, that's going to be something that's going to take place deep into the pregnancy, such that the life of the child is preserved, right, as well as the woman is able to terminate her pregnancy. But essentially, the major claim overall, the more broad claim, is that there's not going to be a moral principle that you're going to be able to provide, at least I don't believe, that isn't going to be reducible to some absurdity unless you value human life in totality.
That's completely fine. So, clarifying from before, so you do think there is a circumstance where abortion would be okay, or there is no circumstance where abortion would be okay?
There's no circumstance where a lethal abortion is okay.
What's a non-lethal abortion? Elaborate.
A lethal abortion is an abortion that requires the ending of the life of the child, whereas a non-lethal abortion, which is often going to take place past the date of viability, is going to be an ending of the pregnancy that does not result in the death of the child. Obviously, that's not mutually exclusive of being pro-life. If anything, that is ultra pro-life.
Interesting. Okay. And you said that you don't think that I will be able to give up a reason?
I'm saying that you could try to provide like certain like moral reasons, right? But I would question whether or not you can do that in a way that is not going to lead to like an absurd position. That's what I'm saying.
Like elaborate.
Yeah, so like for example, like there's the thing that people try to commonly use, like appealing to sentience or consciousness, right? Where they say if something is sentient or something is conscious, that's where we derive its moral value, and all things that are not sentient or conscious, we don't have to respect its moral value, right? But then we could come up with like these hypotheticals seem absurd to the average person because they appear absolutely psychotic. Like, okay, well, what if we take somebody who's in a coma and we murder them or rape them because they lack consciousness? Or what if they've been in a coma since birth, right, since birth, and they're like 20 now, and we know that they'll wake up eventually, is it okay to rape or murder this person? The answer is probably no. That's probably not like a moral principle we should adhere to.
Yeah, I don't know what this is really aiming towards. But anyways, basically what I'm saying is that I think within certain circumstances, it should be okay to abort. For example, in a circumstance to where the woman's life is at danger, she's going to give pregnancy, or, she's going to give birth, right? She's already pregnant and stuff like that. But her giving birth would terminate her life. I think in that instance, it should be the woman's decision, or the woman and the father's decision, if anything, to be able to terminate. I think if they would like to terminate the baby in that instance, then I think that'd be okay. If you want to specify a specific window for when that would be the case, let's say about 2 to 3 weeks. What's the logical contradiction with this? Or moral contradiction?
Could you repeat could you repeat the last 10 seconds? I
said the parameters and the windows that could potentially be, if you would like to make this a more realistic situation, would be the first 2 to 3 weeks. What's the logical or moral contradiction with this?
Oh, in terminating the pregnancy 2 to 3 weeks in? Yeah, like the argument's going to be... Yeah,
given the context that I previously laid, of course.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be like a matter of logical contradiction, right? So like...
Yeah, that's why I said also moral contradiction. Just what's your disagreements with this?
Yeah, the disagreement is that it's going to violate the principle of preserving life, right? Which is what I morally value. And the point is that I believe I could be infinitely more consistent in maintaining that principle than any alternative principle that I would ask of you. So I would ask of you, what principle do you uphold, right, that is allowing for this termination of pregnancy?
Why would I need a specific principle to uphold? What do you mean when you say principle? Are we referring to some moral lens? Are we referring to some ideology that I personally hold? Or some moral foundation that I have? Because if you're asking for any three of those, then I would say I don't think that's necessary for me to give by any means. See, your whole point here is saying that you think you can be more morally consistent with, being maximally pro-life, and you say the reason why this would be, some problem would be because you preserve life. You love to preserve life. And of course, that's understandable because that's your stance, right? Yes. But the whole thing we're trying to get here is we're trying to argue on which one of our stances is more, I guess, logically coherent per se. Now, I believe my stance is simply because, or I believe at least my argument is, right, or my idea or window of when you should be able to. I think if there's no contradiction or no problem, no moral problem given to this, then I don't think that's really defeating my idea of it. You get what I'm saying? That's why I'm asking you, what is the problem? Like, I understand you say you want to value life. That's like a given, considering you're pro-life. But what does that have to do with me, a person who does not value life of that instance?
Yeah, so like, I guess what I'm asking you is, what do you value specifically? Like, I'm asking for the basis behind your morality. Because I think...
are you just asking what I value, like, as a whole?
Yeah, like, I value life. What's the opposing principle that you value?
I don't really understand what you're talking about. Like, there's so many things that a person can value. Can you, like, be more specific?
Yeah, I'm saying when you're making the moral judgment of whether or not it is okay or not okay to terminate the pregnancy, what is the basis for your morality? When you make the claim it's morally permissible, what's the reasoning behind that specifically that you're pointing out?
That it's morally reasonable? Well, as I mentioned previously, I value the life of the mother whose decision it would be to carry that baby. In that instance, if she decides to, value her life over that baby, given the fact that that baby is the one who is dependent on her, etc., whatever it may be, I think that's okay. The only reason why I say that's okay is because let's imagine the scenario that I gave, right? 2 to 3 weeks. If we're given, a fact that the father and the mother, they thought about this decision, but, they really just regretted it, and they don't want to bring a baby into the world, resenting that baby, maybe not being financially stable for that baby. Not only that, but also realizing and coming to the realization that that pregnancy in her, if she were to give birth, it would kill her, right? And in those instances, in those medical scenarios, or even those personal scenarios to where this is being considered, I think that would be okay. And that's what I value in those moments. I value a person's personal choice of agency and what they would like to do. So,
can I ask I want to ask a clarifying question.
Ask any question you'd like.
Sure. Would you make the statement that the baby's life is valuable, but it does not outweigh the value of the mother's life? Or would you make the statement that the baby's life is not valuable whatsoever?
It just really depends what you mean by valuable. Like,
Well, okay, like as in worth protecting. So like I'm under the assumption that you believe
well,
it deserves
if
more
I'm saying
consideration.
that
It's
they
worth
can terminate
protecting.
it, then I wouldn't say it's worth protecting. No, in
So
that
if you don't
circumstance,
believe,
sure.
I see. So okay, because I'm just trying to clarify your position. So I'm of the understanding that you believe that the baby's life actually is valuable in most circumstances because you outlined earlier in the debate that there are circumstances where you would not be justified in having an abortion. It
Where is
would be
that
immoral.
implicative of most circumstances or instances?
Or my fault of some circumstances. All right, that was a little bit
Okay.
of loaded language. That's fine. So I take it that you do believe the baby's life is generally valuable, just not in comparison to the mother if she has an adequate reason. Like her health is on the line, her life is on the line. Is that correct?
It really just depends. Like, I think in that instance, if it's extensible to the 2 to 3 week like substance, like, and it's gonna be damaging to the mother, I wouldn't say that that baby's life is valuable, at least in comparability to the mother. Like, anything can have value, absolutely anything,
Sure.
whether that's intrinsic or extrinsic. I can value this lotion bottle on my desk. Let's say I use it afterwards. You get what I'm saying? Like, that in itself, I'm valuing that. In comparability to, let's say, if I had to leave for work after and I just left the lotion bottle over there, those circumstances, in that circumstance, I'll be valuing my work and I have to do over that lotion bottle. So in that instance, that lotion bottle would not have any valuation to me personally, right? Unless we were to establish some type of objective foundation of what humans and what like things have valuation. I think that the question of whether we value it in that moment doesn't really make any sense. Like, what do you mean? Like, are you asking, do I personally value it?
No, not personally. All I'm trying to understand is if you generally consider like unborn children worthy of moral consideration, but you're just arguing that there's circumstances where their moral consideration is outweighed by the mother's because of, I don't know, some kind of medical necessity, etc. I'm just trying to make sure that's an accurate framing of your position.
I saw something crazy in chat. Okay,
Damn.
wait, elaborate again.
Wait, do you mean like for me to repeat, or do you need me to like
Yeah,
elaborate?
repeat.
Okay. Like all I'm trying to understand is, are you of the position that unborn children are generally worthy of moral consideration, but there are circumstances where the mother's moral consideration outweighs that baby's worth, and therefore those are the circumstances where abortions are acceptable? I'm just trying to make sure that's your position.
I think that in a circumstance to where she would like to value her own life over the baby, I think that
Sure.
baby's life instantly becomes not valuable.
Okay, awesome. So then, I mean, with that in mind, it seems like the natural path that this discussion is going to take is if I can give you evidence that there are circumstances in which, not even just circumstances, but there are pathways in which the mother can not give birth, as in we can have a non-lethal abortion to make sure she doesn't die, but also make sure that the baby doesn't die either. If those circumstances exist and that's like a realistic pathway, then surely there's no real reason to have lethal abortions to protect the mother, because we can protect the mother without killing the child. Would you agree?
You can do that in every circumstance.
I mean, with a high probability, yes. These are called
Wait, what do
fetal
you mean high
viability.
probability? Because percentile wise, if we're saying that in certain circumstances could be the case, and in certain circumstances that it cannot be the case, then I would just agree with my stance. I'm not saying that in no instance should she always have to abort. I'm saying that there are certain circumstances where maybe she should have to abort, right? Given a medical instance to where, like, she's just feeling the need to abort because she knows that the pregnancy is going to kill her, and there's no option for a non-lethal abortion. I think within instances of that nature, then she should be able to. That's a circumstance that she would be able to.
Well, I just can't conceive that that's a realistic circumstance. Like, in what abortion clinic or healthcare clinic would a non-lethal abortion not be accessible, but a lethal
Well,
abortion
that's
is?
what I
Why would
asked
that be?
you, right? Are you saying that it's always possible to have some non-lethal abortion? Is this always going to be the choice in the matter?
To my knowledge, yes. If you're in a healthcare facility,
Okay.
yes.
Can
right?
you
So, like,
can
I
you
just posted a
substantiate
CT
that?
scan.
Can you
So I
substantiate
posted,
that in every instance?
like, I don't know that's in literally every instance. I'm just saying that if you're in a healthcare
That's the
facility,
problem.
that seems to
If
be
if I'm taking pro circumstance, and I'm saying there's a certain circumstance where this can't be the case and abortion is necessary, That's what I clarified in the very beginning.
Okay.
For not only you, but for the stage as well. The only way for your point at all to work here is if you were to somehow prove that in every instance and circumstance that fetal viability and, you know, this non-lethal abortion, that this would work in every circumstance. That would be the only way and choice that your point works. Because in that matter, it wouldn't have to become a necessity to abort in that circumstance. And in that point, the you know, survival that fetus would be possible, but we don't know if that's the case in every circumstance.
So I don't think that's a fair like burden of evidence or like standard of proof to hold me to. Because like the reason why is it possible? And no, that's not. Like, I don't think I'm of the position. No. To be clear, I don't think I've ever stated the position that it is like logically necessary that there will always be like fetal viability, right? I don't think that's like a standard that anybody can be held to, because there's always the yes, but we're not going to like draft our like legislation based upon like these. Wait, to be clear, no, I don't agree with your point.
So there isn't a circumstance.
Hold on, we don't base legislation off of. Sorry, to be clear, wait, don't interrupt me. I just want to get this point.
Of course, go ahead.
I'm just saying, I don't think we draft our legislation, right, our laws, based on whether or not we can conceive a single or a couple possibilities, right? I don't think that's how we do it. We generally look at, okay, what is normally accessible, right? What is normally the case? We're going to use generalities to form legislation. Would you agree?
Because do you understand what my position is?
I understand what your position is. I'm questioning the relevancy of the position. Your position is that if there is any circumstance whatsoever in which somebody needs to have a lethal abortion, they should have access to it. That fulfills your burden. That's at least how my understanding.
And right. That's some paraphrasing of it. That's fine. You can stick to that.
If you think I misrepresented,
a little bit. Either way, that's not really relevant to what we're talking about right now. I'm not going to just dick you on that part. But what I am saying is that if it's the case that in my position, if there's a circumstance where medical abortion is necessary, that she should be able to take it, at least necessary for her personal life, and your every circumstance to where she should, have some non-lethal abortion. If you're agreeing that there's a circumstance to where this wouldn't be necessary, and, she might be able to have one, but there's also certain circumstances to where she can't have one, that's just agreeing with my point. Because I'm not saying that non-lethal abortion is wrong. I think 100%, if that's a circumstance, an alternative that she wants to take and that she can take, I think that should be the case. But at the same time, if there's a circumstance to where that just cannot be the case, I think that would be agreeing with my stance, because at that point your whole refutation falls under the umbrella academy of circumstantial situations.
I think
if it's circumstantial, it's essentially agreeing.
Yeah, for the sake of clarity, like the point is not whether or not, like, because I think you're saying something very trivial here. The point is not whether or not, like, I agree to the trivial claim you're making. The point is whether or not I think that this is like a relevant point at all. Because I could say, if we were having a conversation where your proposition was that it is okay, right, or like it's possibly okay, or we should allow it in some circumstances for us to just like go on the street and just start firing rounds into the like fucking crowds of people, right? If you were of that position and I questioned that and I said, well, isn't that murder? And you're like, yes, but wait. Yeah, so to be clear, yeah, I'm making the analogy where it's like, okay, if we were having a debate where you made the claim that it's like possibly okay that we can go into like a crowd of people in public and just fire shots into the crowd, right? And I was like, no, that's probably not okay. That sounds like murder. We probably should have legislation against that. And you said, yeah, Forks, but isn't there a possibility where one of the people that you actually hit is actually a pedophile rapist who's going to rape your son? It's like, I mean, I guess, but like at that point, like we're just... Okay, you can adjust why you don't think it's equivalent. But like,
yeah,
at that point,
I'll definitely address that.
I guess
if we're just randomly shooting in a crowd,
it's like wait, to be clear, it's like at that
where
point,
at all would shooting in a crowd be necessary?
No, I'm not saying it's not. Wait, if you're like you want to talk about like necessity, like I guess that's another thing. Like you could say that the shooter like feels like
no. I'm just asking, would it be necessary for anyone's personal health? Like, does someone die if they don't shoot the crowd?
Yeah, I can conceive of a possibility just like you are where it is.
Oh, elaborate then. Please conceive a possibility to me.
Yeah, I can conceive a possibility where somebody's like, if I don't fire into this crowd, I'll fucking kill myself. Like at that point, to that person, yeah,
that's not necessary
to fire into the crowd. Well, at that you qualified
not equivalent at least
if they don't do it
to my abortion thing.
Sorry, you qualified.
So
you
if in a medical instance to where abortion is going to kill that person, they don't have a choice. The person who's going to kill themselves, they can choose to put the gun down. That is a mental choice they're making. If a person is pregnant and that pregnancy is going to literally kill them, that's not a choice. They can't take the baby out. Oh, wait. Unless they can. To which in an instance, you would have abortion, right? If we're talking about just a person who is suicidal, mentally ill, and they feel like their life is connected to this shooting, where if they do this, they feel like a failure and they just kill themselves because they feel that their life is valueless, that is not equivalent to that. The reason why it's not equivalent is because in that instance, they would have a choice to put the gun down and just simply...
Yeah, you're presupposing that. Like, not to interrupt you to be rude, but you're presupposing that. There's absolutely instances of people that are not acting as like an agent, not acting as if they're in control of their own body, but because some kind of mental illness or some kind of drug effect or alcohol.
Is that not what I said?
They're essentially acting. No, I'm saying that at that point, we're talking about people that are going to kill themselves who don't actually truly have a choice in the matter. They're not using their...
How do they not have a choice?
Sorry. Do you agree this is possible? Because you asked me
that they don't have a choice. No, I think if they are going to kill themselves, that is their choice.
Wait, if you're saying it's not possible that they could kill themselves without having a choice in the matter, because I don't know, they're drugged out of their mind,
are they killing themselves?
If you're saying that's not possible, if you're saying that's impossible, what's the...
Wait, I just have a question. They kill themselves.
Yeah, you can kill yourself.
So who's the person killing?
That doesn't make it their choice. Wait, what's the...
Because you know what I'm about to do. That's why you're avoiding. Wait, who's the person?
I feel like you're low-key avoiding the question.
Who's the person killing them?
You're going to say it's impossible. You're going to say it's impossible.
You're trapped, bro. Who's the person killing them?
It just feels like you're avoiding the question.
You're the only one avoiding right now. Who's killing them?
No, I asked you the question first. Archie, are you going to answer the question?
Okay, so what's your question? That's fine. Let's answer your question.
Yeah, the question is, if you're claiming it's impossible for somebody to do something to themselves, right, to kill themselves, but to not have control of their actions via, I don't know, some kind of mental illness, which we know to rob people's agency, some kind of drug.
How? In what way would it rob someone's agency?
Yeah, because it messes with your cognitive thinking or function. You do things you wouldn't normally otherwise do. You're not consenting to your own actions.
How are you not consenting to your own actions?
Yeah, because your inhibition is gone. That's the point. So what's the contradiction?
How is your inhibition gone?
Killing themselves? Because that's a known side effect of alcohol and drugs. Unless you just want to like claim something that everybody knows is not true.
I do want to claim.
So
again, let me ask you something.
What's the contradiction?
Let me ask you something.
Just what the hell?
Definitionally, what's a choice?
What's a choice?
Yeah, what's a choice?
Do
you want to define this in chat? Wait, no one type really quick. Let's see. Define.
To be clear,
choice.
I actually do think that choice requires some kind of free will or agency.
Okay.
Do you agree that choice
an option, a decision, an opportunity to choose or select something? So in that instance, would they be choosing this?
No, they're not choosing it because they lack agency. That's the point.
So they're not doing
making a choice. No, that's not the same as not doing something.
What does it mean to choose something?
Wait. Okay, to be clear, there are things that we instinctually do that we don't choose to do. Like,
how
I don't choose.
Besides involuntary actions? How so?
Yeah, that's one of the points. Involuntary actions are examples like fight or flight, like natural body functions. These are things that we do.
Do you know what an involuntary action is?
These are things that you don't think about doing. Spontaneous.
What's an involuntary action?
It's not an action. It's an action you don't have.
For example, like let's say when a doctor hits your knee, I'm gonna teach you something. It's called praxeology, right?
Archie,
praxeology is the idea that actors and people in itself that they can. Yeah. Can someone please move Gyro down? Why is he interrupting my debate? Thank you so much. So back to what I was saying before. I was rudely interrupted by Gyro. So praxeology, right, and such is really just the study of human actions, what they voluntarily do. The difference between praxeology and involuntary actions is because if someone were to make an involuntary action, for example, I were to hit your knee with a hammer, your knee is going to naturally flex up. Or let's say if I were to make you gag and you had a gag reflex, right? I was just making you gag like over and over. You would throw up or you would like like naturally.
Yes, and that's not a choice.
Right?
And
That's an involuntary action, something you can control. Now, the difference between that and a praxeological action or a voluntary action, such as shooting yourself, whether you're intoxicated or not, or whether you're tripping on mushrooms or not, the difference is, in that moment, you are making action. Now, whether you are in your right mind or not your right mind, unless you're trying to like separate person from person based on their mental condition, whatever they're thinking in that moment, that is them in that moment.
Archie,
see, definitionally, what do we have? Wait, just hear me out for a second. I know it sounds crazy. Hear me out for a second. If we understand the definition, just call on. Hey, it's no need. You don't need to spur. Listen. If we understand that, calm down, please. Just calm down. If we understand the, hey, Forks. Hey, Forks, just please calm down for a second. There's no need to spur. I'm getting scared. Please, calm down. Don't rhetoric me, please.
I'm not trying to rhetoric you.
It's called an option, a decision, or an opportunity to choose or select something. Right? We have the example. Do I have the choice of what color to paint it? Now, in this instance, right, if it's an opportunity, decision, or option to choose or select something, if they are gonna shoot themselves based off whether they're intoxicated or not, I agree that is an opportunity right there to shoot themselves, right?
But that's not a choice. What I was trying to ask you is
what definitionally that is. I'm just asking. No,
it's not.
Would they not have the opportunity
or do you not
to
agree
do this?
That a choice requires consent?
No.
So, like, for example, if I asked you if a 3-year-old fucks a grown man, is that 3-year-old making the choice to fuck a grown man?
You're wilder, bro.
What's happening?
Yo, if that any type of analogies, bro.
Answer the question. Answer the question. Is that 3-year-old?
I got you. I'll answer. What'd you say?
A grown man. If a 3-year-old has sex with a grown man, is it their choice to have sex with a grown man?
Is it their option? Do they have an option?
I just want a yes or no answer. Is it their choice?
Do they have an option?
Well, by definition, no, because they don't have a concept of.
So then that's not a choice. Congratulations. So I don't know what type of analogy this is.
That's the point. That's the point. You're so close. You're so close. The point is that not having.
So close. Facts. I'm about to edge, bro. I'm literally edging right now, bro.
You're so close. No. You're stop. It's not funny.
Go ahead, bro.
It's not funny. Listen.
Facts, bro. It's not funny at all, bro. Go ahead.
Is that not having just how you acknowledge that the 3-year-old did not make the choice to have sex with the grown man? The point.
Do you know why? Because was it an option for him?
I am trying to speak. I feel like you just told me. Don't rhetoric me, Forks. Don't interrupt me. So I'm trying to speak.
I was joking. You have no rhetoric. I was asking. Is it a choice for them to go into it?
It just seems like you're afraid to let me continue because you know I have a point. I have a point.
I'm really shivering now. I'm literally afraid that you're just about to falcon kick me in my neck with an argument.
Everybody knows
my teeth are literally.
Look, it's just not looking good. Look,
oh my God.
I need you to just relax. I need you to stop avoiding. I need you to stop being evasive. Look, the reason why the 3-year-old did not make the choice to have sex is because they lacked informed consent. And informed consent is what allows you to understand the opportunities or the possible decisions you can make and go through. Without that, you are not making a proper choice. No, so that's just correct. That's just correct. I just walked you through how that's just correct. So with that in mind, if somebody's severely mentally ill, no. I know. I gave the analogy I chose to give, so you're gonna listen. Look, with that in mind, the person who shoots themselves in the head because they feel compelled to do so through alcohol or drugs or mental illness, they are not formally consenting to what they're doing, so they're not making a choice. There's a cognitive dissonance. That's not a choice. I'm glad it took us like 10 minutes to get through that because I don't know.
Wait.
I got you. So we just walked down through that.
Bro.
Are you there? Bro, there's no way this guy's getting rhetoricked by his Wi-Fi. Look, I actually sympathize with it. I've been rhetoricked by my Wi-Fi before. All right, let him back up, Sakazuki. Why is moderator
shit, bro?
Me?
Oh, here.
Bruh. He's literally raising his head.
Oh my God, finally, bro. Also, see, you're retarded. I can't lie. You don't
I sympathize. I sympathize.
But that's what I was saying. I somewhat heard
Wi-Fi
what
fucks me
you were saying. But you want to... So let me ask you something.
No difference.
Does the three-level option...
No, neither does the guy who shoots himself.
Exactly. No, let me ask you something. Wait, so you're saying they don't have an option?
You agree?
If you're intoxicated, you don't have the option.
They don't have informed consent. No, because you don't have informed consent. You can't even
understand. It's definitionally an option.
That's the point. Oh my god, an option is something that you can partake in or not partake in. Okay.
Anyways,
you have choices. You have selection.
Right.
You have selection. But if you lack informed consent, you don't understand your options. And you don't understand them if you don't have informed consent. That's
my god.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Are you good?
Hold on, bro. Let me go down phone, bro. I'm tired of this, bro. Oh my god, bro.
This guy's on phone.
Why do I have Discord?
You're on phone right
bro,
now?
Hold on, bro.
There's no way this guy's on phone right now.
Alright, no, I'm not on phone. But it's fine.
Okay, thank God.
Fine. You know what?
If you were on phone and you were that loud, I think I would have just quit the debate, bro. I'm not gonna.
Alright, hold on. Let me. Yo, I'm literally getting the Apollo curse right now.
Yanni, bro, I brought up how 3-year-olds can't consent to sex, bro. You're just criticizing me for the sake of criticizing me. Ugh.
Nah, that's literally what I'm saying. He should have just brought that up. Because this analogy is contradictory. But why am I lagging? Hold on, though.
It's the same thing. Oh, no. Wait, it's contradictory. Wait, why am I hearing him twice? Why am I hearing you twice?
Oh my goodness, bro. What? Why did my screenshots just send? Bro, I sent these ages ago.
Oh my god.
Dude, I'm literally getting cugged by
Archie, bro, should we do this later? We can do this later. We can do this later.
We might not have to, bro. Wait, never mind. Oh my goodness, bro. Holy crap, bro.
This guy C wants to take your clout, bro. C said he'll take over. That's crazy as fuck.
Bro, C. We are over. 5-0. You wanna guess who's up? What are you talking about? Hold on, let me just send these debates, brother. Hold on, bro. Matter of fact, let me ask you something. Who won the last debate?
Oh, shit.
Yo, debates, I haven't even know for you. Alright, bro. This is what I'm doing. I see on your shoulder. Bro, wait, I think my Wi-Fi is good now, bro. Can you hear me? Is that good?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, bet. Now, let me explain why the analogy, I personally just disagree with it.
You said it was contradictory, right?
No, here's the idea of it. Now, if we were to have a 3-year-old, and for whatever reason, some weird grown man decided to force and coerce this 3-year-old into having intercourse. Now, if we assume this to be the case, you already agree that they would not have a choice or option in the matter. A man is very, very physically stronger than a 3-year-old, right? This isn't the matter of whether the 3-year-old is intoxicated, whether the 3-year-old is just manipulated. No, they have no idea what's going on. And this grown man is taking advantage of that, grabbing them and forcing them to do these things. Now, the reason why your analogy is just retarded and not equivalent at all,
was not a part of the
C,
analogy.
Listen up, right? The idea of it is, if it's going to be the case, a man, right? He's just simply intoxicated, and he's convinced himself that if he doesn't shoot the crowd, that he is, like, he's going to hurt himself.
Uh-huh. Oh my goodness. No, I don't know if you can hear me, but you just brought up things that were not a part of the analogy. It was never part of the analogy that the man forced the child at all. That he physically forced the child. That he groomed the child. So,
Okay,
regardless of if the man physically forced the child, yeah, regardless of if the man physically forced him or not, if the guy just stuck his dick out and the child, yeah. No, if the guy just stuck his dick out and the child did stuff with him because of that, that's still, even if the man didn't physically force him or mentally groom him, the child is still not making the choice because the child can't fucking consent, and you need consent to understand your options, which is the point. You can't.
You think the child, you got 3-year-old is gonna know?
That's what I just fucking said. He doesn't know. That's why it's not a choice.
What are you?
He doesn't know. He doesn't have a. What you? If it doesn't know the difference, then yeah, it might. It would still not be making the choice because it can't fucking consent. That's the point, Archie. If you can't consent to what you're doing, you're not making a choice. Oh my god, bro.
Okay.
I just don't understand what the fuck
is literally giving out right now. Yeah, I'm glad people in chat are understanding how we're trying to this analogies, but
for all you fucking people in chat, if you guys are arguing the 3-year-old would never do this, if the point is that the 3-year-old doesn't understand what the fuck it's doing, then why wouldn't it? Why couldn't it? Why couldn't that happen? That's the fucking point of the analogy. That it might do it, it might not do it, but it's not making a choice either way because it doesn't fucking comprehend what it's doing. That's insane. It's like, there's no way you guys don't understand the point. Like, I think you guys are much more smart than that. Yanni, you say this analogy, you can come up as well. You can come up too. Yanni, get on stage and explain why the analogy sucks. I swear, bro. You guys like talk like crazy in chat. I don't get it. Alright, Scooby says I'm trash. You can get on stage. Yanni says I'm trash. He can get on stage. Look, bro, I'm not. Look, we can do this another time. If, like, your internet's fucked up.
Finally. Now, listen. How did you do that? Just answer that real quick.
No, that's the point.
So exactly. Wait, so how is he gonna do that without the adult forcing him?
What? Huh? Why does... Wait, sorry. Again, not to get too explicit, because it's like a gross analogy. Yes, a 3-year-old cannot understand what it's doing.
And the dude is just gonna start... Like, what type of instance is that?
Yeah, yeah, the...
Like, you're irritating me with these analogies. Well, no, what did you just say at first? You said fuck. You said F-U-C-K.
Look, I don't really give a dog. If it's gonna perform, yes, I know what that means. I'm saying that.
You don't give a fuck about what you said previously. You moron. Clearly, you don't think you're contradicting yourself. If a 3-year-old is going to touch it, that is different from the analogy you initially gave. Do you understand this? Pretty simple, easy. Now listen, I'm gonna explain this to you. A better analogy for you to use for it. Let's say a drunk woman. She has no idea of her choices. She doesn't know what she's doing, and she's coerced into something. Same way the man in the crowd did what he's doing. He thought that was his only choice. That's an argument for you to give, folks. There you go. That's a better argument. I'm just so confused how you managed to formulate this analogy.
If you're just gonna ear rape, I'm just gonna leave, bro. You got it.
Leave then, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, what happened?
My friend, this is how you.
Did he just leave?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow. Well, guys, Forks went to General VC. Do we follow him, chat? I think we
follow him. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
Go, guys.